What is going on, everybody? Welcome into Lineman Life Live. It is Wednesday. It is Hump Day. And got some special guys here with me. Got my co-hosts here, Justin Blaylock. You guys know about him. Y'all know how we get down.
Yes, sir.
And then I got 5 points in urinating tree in the house. Our football season co-hosts. We are a panel of 4, and we're here to give you our perspective on this world of sports that we live in.
It's 2 experts and 2 idiots. That's what it is.
Not sure which one's which sometimes, though.
Not sure which one's which. You can pick it, swap us around anyway. You might be right. Now, before we get started, obviously, Florida going through it. Send a shout out to the people in Florida. Hurricane Ian, right? Hurricane Ian?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tearing up the streets out there. But as we all know, every time one of these big storms comes kicking through, you always got those people who are just so resilient. They're like, I ain't going nowhere. You got those guys who represent for their set. And here we go. Look at this guy.
I'm sure he wanted Bernie. That's why he's mad right there.
All we waiting for was the lightning strike.
Right.
Hey, you got to be dedicated to your craft. You know, if you hate someone that much.
I thought it was going to be Lieutenant Dan. You call this a storm?
Yeah. I got one more for you.
Okay.
One more for you. This one, I'm sure you guys will like this one. Because this asshole right here is probably the bravest man in the world right now. Did it all for the viral. Florida man says, fuck a hurricane.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I saw this one before. He's just going to work.
This dude is on a jet ski in the middle of a hurricane.
There you go.
Against the waves.
Yeah, he's balling out. He's having a good time.
He's just playing wave race. He's trying to get through the buoys.
Jet moto.
I'm sure we'll hear about a missing Florida man.
No, what you're going to see is you're going to see the jet ski on land after it dries up. Guys know where to be found. That's how it always goes.
I mean, this is just natural selection. That's all.
Yeah. If he wants to go out in a blaze of glory, let him.
Yeah.
Playing the Darwinism game.
At least he lived. He lived.
Yes. You cannot say this man didn't live.
He lived life to the fullest, only in
absolute.
Florida.
Went out doing
Took
what
it
he
to the
loved.
limit. It's always Florida too. You wouldn't see that.
It's
shit in
always
Georgia.
Florida.
Yeah. Like when
It's
Hurricane
always
Andrew hit, everyone tried to leave and they were like, fuck. Shit.
No, not happening. Not happening. But let's get into it today. Week 3 is a wrap. Week 4 is ahead. And there's questions. We got questions about plenty of teams. We got questions about plenty of coaches. And, when you look at it, there's some situations like, say, the Chargers, where you got a quarterback who's ailing. Patriots, kind of the same thing. Quarterback who's been knocked out the rotation, might be done for an extended period of time. You got guys getting hurt left and right. Now, one of the things that, we talked about, on Monday was just the situation where you have guys like Justin Herbert, who has, serious rib injury. Well, he has a rib injury. Any rib injury is serious because it's debilitating. His rib injury couldn't have gotten any better after that game against Jacksonville. Go Jags. But the question always seems to come up in my mind is, when is it not smart to play through when is it the wrong move to try and play through that kind of pain? I mean, another player, Tua Tagovailoa. This is a guy who, by all accounts, should have been out of that game.
Mm-hmm.
I am eager to hear what their excuse is when they talk about why he was allowed to go back in the game, because we all saw what happened to that kid. He landed on his head. He whipped his head into the ground, was clearly dazed from it, which is a concussion, point blank, period. There's no really getting around that. And somehow he was allowed to go back on the field. That's a decision that I don't think any player is going to be like, no, I don't want to play. But
right. I'm just shocked because I thought they had independent doctors. Like, have they figured out some way to game the system? Because I've seen on multiple occasions over the last 3-4 years where players looked shook and came back in the game. And before that, like 5 years ago, players you wouldn't even see a concussion happen, and they're not eligible to return. Something has shifted, whether they have some drug or something, some like instant, something that contracts the pupils or something, that they're beating these tests somehow. These concussion protocols.
I know for
the
money too, but for the Dolphins, I think their reasoning was it was a back issue, and the reason why he fell is because his back tightened up. So that's what they're going off about. It's like back. That's what they're trying to cover it as.
Now, I will say this. When I ruptured my disc in my back, I collapsed, like trying to walk back to the huddle. Yeah. I didn't also hit my head, and have to be like held up. I just took a knee. So I can kind of.
But he looked like his bell was rung, like it was the Liberty Bell's
they rung the
last
shit out
year
of
when CeeDee Lamb did the same thing. He like went up for a pass, fell down, hit his head, same fashion, and he was out for like a week or two. So I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm not in the rooms, but I could understand how he would pass it if he legitimately didn't have a concussion.
Well, this is the thing. When he hit if you look at the replay,
but he also had hurt his back allegedly much earlier. So
yes,
my shit was instant. Like it ruptured. I was out.
Here is
what was that game where Rodgers got hit and it looked like he was woozy and he just came back in the game? Like
that was the Cardinals game, I think, right?
Yeah. That one where his helmet was all up the side of his face and shit. And then he just got up back in the game and then did a post-game interview high as fuck on Percocet.
Didn't that happen? I think that happened to Joe Burrow too. Like he got knocked out unconscious and I think he got back into the game. If I remember correctly, that was last year.
Look, and as a player, and JB, you can back me up on this.
Oh yeah.
When the cat is knocked out. Immediately, because in a lot of cases, and generally you'll see the flexed arms and they're just stuck in place. Mm-hmm. But there's sometimes when the cat's knocked out, and you only know they're knocked out because they freeze on the ground. They just they could be laying face down, but they're just frozen, no movement, right? And it doesn't take that hard of a hit to do it. With him, we're going to show this replay right here. This dude, let me turn the audio off. This dude, if you look at his head, oh damn it! Did they not get the?
This is the bad. Yeah. Okay, here's the good angle.
Away from it.
Okay, so that's not a back. You see,
that's a whip.
Watch his head. That's a whip. Look at his head.
A little bit.
Look what he does.
Look
what he does. Look what he does. He grabs his head. He's grabbing at his face. Now, if you watch the play from the start,
the only thing
I watch when he pops up.
See, he was falling back a little bit. I mean, you have a helmet on for a reason, Like
my only thing too in his
look at this cat. Maybe look at what he's doing right here.
That's shit.
If he's like a little, sometimes they get that head whip and you get dizzy and then you lose your balance, which I don't know why you're in the game.
Shaking his head.
Like when you stand up too fast.
That's balance. That's balance.
That's balance. That's not your back. Because look what he look.
He don't reach. He don't instinctually reach for his back though. Like that's the thing. Yeah. Like when he gets up, you'd be like if it was your back, you'd be like like Ezo and shit.
Do we have the play when he actually hurt his back?
He hurt his back on the goal line.
They said it was a quarterback sneak or something.
Yeah, he got bent backwards on that one. But even on that one, I mean, you look at it and you say, yeah, that was his back for sure because he grabbed at it right after. Mm-hmm. But this right here, when he's sitting still, he just twitches. Watch, kind of a twitch. He shook his head. He gets up, shakes his head again. Then he shakes his head again. And then he falls.
I'd love to talk to a doctor.
And he's holding, look, if he didn't grab him right there, he falls down.
Yeah. I would love to talk to a doctor and find out, like, can you beat a concussion protocol? Like, is it possible to beat it? Like, if you have specific, if you know what the test is about, if you've been coached properly.
Like back in the day when it's just like, all right, look up, down, follow my finger. I mean, I don't think that's what they do anymore.
No. They look at your pupils. Like I thought that they do. Like, let me look it up.
No, they've done that. I had a concussion against New England in 2012?
10 years ago. Surely they've advanced the test by now.
Well, no, I think it's the same protocol, right? Because what they did was I got to the sideline. I didn't even come out. I got the concussion and played another play. And when it happened, it was so hilarious.
You just came off when the next time you had a break?
Dude, it was third day. It was second down when I got the concussion. I went back to the huddle.
A 5-step process.
I went back to the huddle, and I'm like, I couldn't even feel the ground under my feet. I was like, man, I hope I don't fall down. And our center looked at me. He's like, damn, you all right? And I was just like,
am I
just looking at him like, I don't know. And we called the play in the huddle. It was a base protection. Now, when I'm thinking back on it, but when he called the play in the huddle, we're walking to the line. And I turned to Brad at center and I go, Brad, what play are we running? He said, what? He said, base 63. I said, what's base 63? He said, you fucking shitting me? I said, yeah, what's base? I said, what is base 63? He's like, and the quarterback is going through the cadence behind him, under center. He's like literally looking at me while the quarterback's talking the cadence. And he's like, what the fuck do you mean? And I'm like, I don't know. What are we running? He said, just block this guy with me. Just block this guy,
motherfucker.
Block this guy with me.
Yeah, like that's the same thing that happened to my brother. He was in college, had D3, had a concussion, same sort of situation. He didn't know like the playbook or anything. He was like disoriented. So
had no idea. Like I heard the play, but I was like, what is that? I was like, what is that? I like literally did not know what that was.
Shit.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Y'all trying to hit me with some new shit.
As soon as I got to the sideline, the team doctor and the trainer grabbed me by the arm and like, come with us. And I was like, damn, I didn't think they saw what happened on the field, because on the field, I got a helmet under my helmet as I came off the ball. We were running what were we running? We were running a trap play. So the guard on the trap has to cut across the D tackle to block, to get him out of the gap, right? Mm-hmm. So when I did that, the D tackle for the Patriots, his helmet, like the top of his helmet, because he was out of control, like he literally did not know where he was on the field. He just lunged forward, and his helmet hit under my chin strap, like right in the open space under my chin, right here. And it made my head whip like that.
Yep.
And so. And I was just like, and from there, you see me on the play, I just go, boo, stand up. And I'm like, oh. And the play just running around me. I was like, shit. But no, this is a concussion, what he had. I mean, it's
all right, here's what they do real quick.
Let's hear it. Yeah.
So sideline survey. So that's when they
that's when they bring you on the sideline. They start looking at
so they look for the concussion signs and symptoms, Maddox questions, which I guess is whatever the standard,
how many weeks are in a year?
Right. What day is today?
Then they do a video review of the play, and then they do a focused neurological exam, which is cervical spine exam, evaluation of speech, observation of gait, and then eye movements and pupillary exam. Then if any of those don't pass, then they have to do basically they do a CT scan and a scat can and a complete neurological exam. Then if any of those are abnormal, the player's not even allowed to come out of the locker room. So
that's what they did to me. I got to the sideline. They were like, hey, come here. And the doctor he didn't even say nothing to me. He just started looking at my eyes.
So if you can pass, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. If you pass the sideline protocol, you can go in. But one of those has to be normal or abnormal. So
But if you
which step is that? That's just step
that's
one,
the
right?
sideline survey.
So the very first thing they do.
Yep.
Whatever
and
that
so,
is.
Yeah. They
If
check
one
you
of
on
those,
the sideline, then they take you in the locker room and check you again in the locker room.
yeah.
Then they
Okay.
determine.
No. They don't check you. If everything is normal on the sideline and after the video review, you can go out. If
What's
one
the
of
video
those
review
things,
supposed to tell them?
yeah. So if you fail any one of those, though, then you go into the locker room. Then you're not coming out. You're basically not coming out.
What are they looking for in the video review? I wonder.
Just to
Whether
see
you
what
went
happened.
probably to
like
see if you
how-
went unconscious.
So
I mean,
whoever.
what if the first test is good?
I mean, how did he get past the replay? Is my question. How did they get past the?
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's good, bad, or indifferent. I'm just curious.
That's
how they
either the
assess it.
doctors or maybe they switched who the doctors are now, and maybe they put it on the team
perfectly
doctor.
fine. Your
When you
sleep is
got-
fine, and then the tape is like you just got run over by a damn truck, but you're like, I'm feeling great.
Then they take you
I
in
mean-
and then they do a neurological. And actually, if you pass the neurological, that's what it's saying, then you can go back.
Then you can
So
go back
even
in.
if the video looked bad, you
Okay.
can still go back in because they're like.
But they're
"All right,
saying it was his back, which that's where to me you lose the argument that he didn't have a concussion, because if you watch the play, where's his back hurt at
They
that
should
point?
just say he passed the
When
test.
he got up, he was shaking his head. He wasn't grabbing his back, and
Yeah,
then he fell forward.
They shouldn't
And
even
then
address
if
his
his
back.
lineman wasn't behind him, he would have fell on his back again. He would have fell
Yeah, he
down.
fell twice. He probably wouldn't have got up the first time because they kind of picked him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
did
he
kinda
kind of like he didn't look like somebody who was in the right like space. Like he didn't have his
should've-
balance. He didn't.
They should have just told us he passed the test, and then they wouldn't be.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
should have just
Yeah.
said, "Yeah, he passed all." Yeah, because
I
saying
don't
it's his
know.
back is ridiculous.
yeah, that's kind of silly.
Very sus.
Are you telling us that
This
like
is the thing.
he said it was his back, therefore he didn't take the tests?
Look, and if you watched on the play, because I mean, let me see if I can pull this back.
No, you can't. If you're in concussion protocol, yeah. Well, that makes me wonder, Justin. Like, yeah, if he said, "Oh, it's my back," and they didn't even put him in protocol, that's even worse.
Then they might.
Yeah,
be in
that's the
trouble
thing,
off
right?
that.
Yeah.
I think that's what the NFLPA is trying to get at.
Because
I'm
look,
just
this
curious.
is the thing that's fucked up about it, is that they're going to do that, make him go back in that game, right? You don't know what effect you just created for him, the ripple effect that he won't feel for decades.
True.
Because how many other shots did he take that game? You know he took other shots that game.
I mean,
How many times?
he came in and threw 4 more touchdowns.
Yeah, he did.
They're like,
He won the game.
Knock his ass out again.
He came back in and won that mug. But at the same time, even with him coming back and playing well, you're still
don't
working on an injured brain. Like
You still don't know
you're
what it
still
could do
working
to you.
with the injury, and you don't know what you're doing to it by continuing to go.
Exactly.
Even getting pushed. What people don't
Right.
understand about the concussion thing is that and they say it's the worst for the offensive lineman and D lineman because the subconcussive hits are more dangerous because they're built up over time. They say it's better to be knocked unconscious than to just continue to bang heads
Damn.
against each other.
Fuck that.
So
I've heard that.
how many
that.
times did he get hit in the shoulder or get hit on the side or get pushed? And when you get
Right.
pushed,
'Cause,
your
I mean,
head still goes
You
rolling
could
around.
be hit in the chest, and you still get a
Yeah.
little whip.
Still get a little whip from that because that's momentum, that's kinetic energy. So, my concern
brain
is that
bone's
they just
connected to the
came
chest
out
bone.
and it seems like they gamed it by just saying it was his back, which I mean, come on, that's hard for me to believe.
Then the spotter needs to be fired. Like,
If
you
that's in
were-
fact
if you're
what
the
happened,
spotter,
heads
like,
are
how
gonna
do you
roll.
let that dude do that? Go
Heads
out
are
and
gonna
play.
roll if that's in fact how it went down.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really, it kind of defeats the purpose of the entire protocol. I mean, because it's a big game, you're going to go ahead and just
Oh, exactly. That's how
side swipe it.
Well, which games are big games now?
players are money. Every
All of
game's a
them are
big
game-
game. I mean,
big
if you want to
games.
think
Yeah.
about it,
Yeah, it's like
It's-
we're just playing the Browns this week, or we're just
the
playing
NFL is losing stars left and right to injury. They want to keep as many of them as
shorter
they can.
preseason, that's the
Well,
shit
shorter
they have.
preseason for your practice, but also you have bigger, stronger, faster guys. What can't you develop? Bones, joints, and ligaments. So I think that's just a little bit of it too.
Yeah.
So do this brain workout, son.
Like I said, you got Justin Herbert on the other side of that, playing with that. What do they keep calling it? A strained ligament.
Fractured rib cartilage.
In between cartilage.
Broken cartilage. Fractured.
I didn't know that broke.
Yeah, that's just a neat way of them saying he broke his ribs. Which, I mean, you can't even do nothing about that. All you can do is wait.
Yeah, you just wait.
Yeah.
Even putting a cat. That's why I guess like.
I mean,
it's hard to make it worse. It's just.
But it's excruciating to have to deal with.
Yeah, the problem is even if you keep moving it, it's going to take longer to heal. That's the only problem. With it.
I mean, it's not a broken rib, fortunately, but those could puncture lungs.
Yep.
Then you're worse.
Yeah, but he'd have to get hit with the exact same. Like
it doesn't sound like it's that. So maybe he is okay to play, but if your performance is going to suffer, nah.
Yeah, and he did not look good.
Unless you already got your guaranteed money.
Jaguars.
If you already got your money and it's guaranteed. If I'm Deshaun Watson, okay.
I mean, he's on that 4-year rookie deal, so he's got it's all guaranteed, but still, I mean,
if I'm
like
playing
I said,
for a second contract, I'm sorry.
The cautionary tale will forever be Baker Mayfield.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't play when you're injured. It's one thing if you're hurt. We all play hurt, but you don't play when you're injured because that's your money you're messing with. And how much money did he lose trying to be a tough guy?
I don't know. He's perfectly healthy this year. He looks like shit.
No, he's also on Carolina, so it's a Matt Rule.
Quarterbacks go to die.
Yes, sir.
Carolina.
$20 super chat from Kyle Donovan. Appreciate you, man. He says, "How about those Jags? We disconnected the Chargers, and I hope we clip the Eagles' wings."
I hope so too.
Duval. It's going to be a good game.
Down.
It's going to be a good game.
Tremendous game.
$5.
If it's close, then that means that y'all are for real because the Eagles are fucking good, man.
Right,
yeah. I mean, this is a true barometer.
Or maybe they're both not as good as we think.
Hater.
The Eagles look pretty legit.
Talking shit now. Them Cowboys won, huh?
Give me my 1 week.
In his 2010s, maybe 2011. Okay, yeah.
Appreciate
that super chat there at Scout About. Okay, so let's move on from that. Let's talk about coaches. We talked about players. Now let's talk about coaches. Got an article here from TWSN, and this is their hierarchy, their head coach hot seat hierarchy. Now, undoubtedly, there are coaches this year already who are question marks for the future with their franchise. I mean, Cliff Kingsbury, step on up, sir.
Didn't it just get extended this past offseason?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, they re-upped on everybody. Murray got a deal. Kingsbury got a deal.
That's
going to make that shit disappear real quick. So I'll go through this article. I mean, I think Cliff Kingsbury, if he should have been on the hot seat the moment that season ended, after that playoff game last year.
He should have never been hired. That was a mistake.
That too. But Cliff Kingsbury, and he's not the first one on this. We'll just go down. We'll go through it and we'll get to him. Says here, this is Jeff Batari writing this. Says being an NFL head coach doesn't seem to be a steady experience. 1 minute you could be loved, the next you could be engulfed by the sounds of boos. Whether it's losses, schemes, penalties, or other factors, there are a variety of reasons that can help a coach find his way onto the hot seat. While it's still early in the season, there are a handful of coaches that have put themselves in awkward situations. It's uncertain how they'll respond to the pressure, but it'll be nearly impossible to ignore the heat as the hot seats have officially warmed up. Let's take a look at what coaches may be sweating. First up, Nathaniel Hackett, Denver Bronco.
Dude, that dude is trash, man.
The crazy thing to me was that he admitted that he didn't know what he was doing. He's like, it's hard out here.
They hired a game manager to help him because he's so bad, and they were still looking bad in San Fran.
Yeah, he tried to make it seem like it was his idea. Yeah, so I got a mentor coming in.
A mentor.
Wasn't his dad an NFL head coach?
Yeah, he had been a coordinator for years. He was a coordinator in Jacksonville. I remember
his
that.
dad was a lifer, He did like 30 years.
Oh, he
Yeah,
got the
yeah.
NFL nepotism in him. That's
OC
why
for
he got
the
that job.
Cowboys back in the day. He's been around.
See, like Hackett's been an O coordinator in Buffalo, 13-14, and an O coordinator in Jacksonville, 16-18. So there's no excuse. It's not like Aaron Rodgers was calling the plays every single year of his career. Like most of his offenses have been bad. Like the only difference was 17 because Jacksonville year and
yeah, and that was the defense that carried an offense to an AFC title game, not the other way around.
Yeah.
Now they had a good running attack, but that's because Leonard Fournette came out with a good rookie season.
I just think that Hackett's going to get carried by Russ. Like Russ will probably have more of an impact. It's kind of like when Peyton was there in Denver.
Who was that? John Fox, was it?
Yeah, and who was the O coordinator? Gase. Adam Gase, right?
Yeah.
Adam Gase and Mike McCoy.
And they didn't do shit. Like Russ has got to take an active role and just be like, look, this is what we're running. Fuck you, Nathaniel Hackett, and your bullshit. And like he's got to. I mean, I don't know if that's.
I don't know. I don't know that he. I don't know if he. Yeah, I don't know if he's that quarterback.
Not his personality, but he's got enough juice.
He's got the juice. He can do it.
He's got the Dangerous sandwich.
That's not his personality, really.
Yeah, it's not his personality. And I mean, look, for as much as I hated Peyton Manning, he had some kind of uncanny knowledge of the game that you just couldn't mess with. So, of course, he understands the plays even better than the coaches do.
Yeah,
I had old high school teammates that played with the Colts with Peyton Manning. They said the coaches didn't do nothing in practice. They let him run. He ran the practice.
What do you think we should do here, Peyton?
Yeah, that's essentially what it was. They never.
That's just crazy that he doesn't have any desire to coach or to like. He's like, fuck sharing that knowledge. Fuck that shit.
The Browns tried to make him their czar for a while, if I remember correctly.
The generation before him, those guys. Well, yeah, some of those guys call plays, like the Jim Kellys of the world.
Yeah,
I mean, like early to mid '90s and before, those guys call plays right there on the field.
Yeah, but to me, it's fascinating.
Granted, there's a lot fewer plays.
To me, it's fascinating that Manning was like, "I'm only going to acquire this knowledge for me, and that's it. For me to win."
Well, I mean, hell, it's like Jordan. Jordan, I mean, Jordan was like, "I'm not about to coach you, motherfuckers. I'm gonna own y'all, but I ain't gonna."
Well, it's hard. It's also hard for a genius to understand stupid people, right?
Like, why can't
a genius doesn't know how to teach?
Yeah,
they know.
If you're a genius, like you don't get why someone's stupid. You're like, why are you so stupid?
It's not just that. It's also they have a hard time translating like to the common player because they see the game at a different level. It's why Wayne Gretzky was never a good coach in hockey. It's why Brett Favre was
the ball
in football.
Just run him over.
Like, most of your really good coaches are guys who were, fringe players, guys who had to work hard and do everything.
Guys who had
to be an athlete in college
learn
because it never came to them.
Yeah, you're right. Boom. Guys who had to sit and watch more than play.
Yeah,
that's really what it is. Look at Ken Dorsey. He's the OC in Buffalo. Ken Dorsey ain't do shit in the NFL. He ain't even barely. He played like 1 year in Miami, and
he won two natties.
He was in not Miami, the college. Where did he play?
I don't know where he played professionally.
Dorsey. Dorsey was Buffalo, I think.
He's with the Dolphins.
Right.
No, he's with the Dolphins.
He's
with the Dolphins.
He was with the Dolphins.
Yeah, he was a charity pick for
hometown hero.
Yeah, hometown hero. But he was garbage. But he called some good. I'll tell you, if he's been the one calling the plays for the last couple of years in Buffalo, that's a damn good job. He's actually utilizing the quarterback.
He played for the Niners and the Browns.
Oh,
Ken Dorsey.
We're way off.
That's right. I just remember seeing him in college. I was like, this dude does not have NFL talent. Like, he was good enough to win a natty and then get them one bullshit pass interference away from 2 in a row.
Oh, yeah.
But he was not an NFL caliber player. And he played 5 years in the NFL. 5 years this man held a clipboard.
Some bitch stuck. Hey, but you know what? All he did was acquire knowledge.
Yeah.
And without, and when you're not the one playing, it's more of chess. It's more of chess than it is you actually being in the action and having to you have that one position perspective. He's looking at the whole thing. the whole time. So yeah, it could play out that way. Like people ask me why I didn't coach, because I'll sit there and talk about O-line stuff all day, and I'm like, motherfucker, I ain't got no desire to coach.
Yeah.
What? Unless they pay me a lot of money, and I know how much they get paid.
Right.
Position coach ain't getting paid shit.
Yeah.
Not enough for me.
They're up till midnight every night and shit.
Yeah.
Real, they up there
During
all
the
night
season.
long, getting motherfucked
like
by the
Tom
head coach. You know what I mean?
Oh, all right. Who else is on the hot seat?
All right,
Can't
so
sleep with
Nathaniel
the
Hackett's
staffers.
on there.
He's not gonna get fired. Matt Rule will get fired though.
Matt Rule is definitely his shit is
I'm sure he's
on
on the
flames.
The only reason why he's still there is because he's still owed 5 years and $45 million on that contract. Otherwise, he would have been fired last year.
Yep. Says Rule has been under pressure, but left last week with a victory. Unlike Hackett, Rule has had plenty of time to get things on track for Carolina. The Panthers have yet to surpass 5 wins in a season under Rule. Oh yeah, he's done.
What, year 3 for him?
Yeah, you're 3.
Yeah,
Like
I
7
cannot believe
years,
he's gone that far.
$63 million deal or something like that.
They
ridiculous.
overpaid for his ass.
But remember, he had good stats coming out of Temple and Baylor. They thought, oh, he could rebuild the organization. And remember, he nearly went to the Giants. Like he gave them
The Giants
chance to
wanted
match
him.
it.
The Giants wanted him, but we got Joe Judge instead.
But I mean, he did get Dable, so it kind of worked out.
Right, yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
These NFL
Dable
owners
didn't make great
really-
decisions.
You got to kiss a
They
few
really
frogs
think
to get
they
in the
know.
print,
Yeah.
Yeah.
These NFL owners really think they know about hiring, coaches. Like I feel like they suck at it.
Well, he
lot of them
probably
aren't
had a
very
really good interview. Like David Tepper probably made his money in business. He probably wowed him in the interview. It's like, wow, this guy's really good. And somebody probably knew him. And it's like, hey, that guy's really good. And that's probably why he got the job. That's how it always goes.
And he sucks. I mean, it's like I know y'all have heard this a million times from me, but when Shad Khan said, I got this one right, and hired Urban Meyer, I remember to this day, the minute I put up a post within 5 minutes of that announcement. I said, this is a terrible decision. They're going to regret this.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, because it's Jacksonville, it had to be the worst head coach hire in NFL history. That's the most Jacksonville thing there is.
It was the most Jacksonville
jag it up.
thing there.
So,
I'm sorry,
Matt
Miss
Rule,
Jacksonville.
I mean, if we're gonna rank these guys, because now we got Cliff Kingsbury here as well. Look.
Who else do they say though? Everyone knows Kingsbury's on the hot seat.
McDaniels is warming up.
Oh,
Frank
yeah.
Wright.
Right?
Robert
Salah,
Saleh.
no way Salah's on the hot seat.
Warming
no
up.
way.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
I don't agree with the Salah. Robert Salah.
Salah,
McCarthy.
McCarthy, Rivera, I can definitely see Rivera.
I mean, I feel like there ain't nothing he can do for these cats in Washington.
Like,
I mean,
Washington
he's a good
is
coach.
a mess.
He's a good
Right.
coach.
Rivera
The franchise ain't right, so you can't do nothing for him.
Well,
Dude, Mike Shanahan
Just
failed
drop my
in
head down, man.
Washington. Joe Gibbs, second time, failed in Washington. You can't go to Washington and be successful. Look at all the coaches that they've had that were there. McVay was there. Shanahan.
That's right.
Kyle Shanahan was there. There's another guy that's a head coach right now that was an assistant. in
LaFleur.
Washington. LaFleur? No, there's
yeah.
another. Somebody
There was
else.
like 4 or 5
who
guys at
McDaniel?
one time.
Mike McDaniels? Was he
No,
there
it
in
was
Washington?
it was what's his name? Wasn't he a head coach? It was was it Kiffin?
No, somebody that's active now. I forget. I was like, oh shit. He
They
was
had
in
at least
Washington.
3 head coaches on that staff.
And I
Maybe
just
Let me look
can't-
that up.
Everyone's like, fucking get the fuck out of Washington because we're not gonna make it here.
I mean, the franchise is broke, so you can't
Yeah.
win until the franchise itself is like fixed,
look
which
up.
is like selling it.
Zach Taylor, was he in Washington at one point?
Shoot,
That's a good pull right there, Mr. Chief.
But
no, he was in Los Angeles. I'm telling you, I thought
McDaniel was a part of the Shanahan staff. That's what I'm saying. Marty Schottenheimer was there too.
Let's see.
Ooh.
Kyle Shanahan, Joe.
But-
Yeah, Mike McDaniel was there as an offensive assistant, wide receivers coach, 2011 to see.
Yeah,
I knew my
hell, they got
instinct-
Del Rio right
my
now. They got
instinct
Zach Del
was
Rio
there, yeah.
and D
I'm
coordinator.
just saying.
And
Like
Wait,
everyone-
Mike
everyone
McDaniel
started
there
a
in
Burger King.
2012?
yeah,
Who?
everyone
Who?
started.
Hey.
Everyone had a first job, right? And everyone
20 years old.
Yeah. Everyone
Wow.
started in Washington.
Fucker can't even drink.
Yeah.
Just, I
That's
mean,
my
look, that's a
multiracial
franchise that
coach
until
right
it's
there.
sold off, it's not going to be right. You're not going to be right. You need a whole new air in there because the oxygen they breathing, that shit dirty as hell.
Yeah. Well, they say fish rots from the head. That's all.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, if I had to rank these guys and I had to pick who would get fired first, just out of the three that we talked about before the honorable mentions, I mean, for me, I'm thinking definitely Matt Rule is on his last leg. I think Cliff Kingsbury. I don't know, man. I think if they don't make the playoffs this year, I think they fire him. Even if they gave him new money, I think they fire him.
I think
He's
him
a
and
victim
Khan
of
they both fire.
Yeah, he's a victim of expectation. You know,
That's not even expectations. Like, what expectations has he lived up to? He's collapsed every single year in the second half.
They made
Literally.
the playoffs last year. I mean,
And something tells me that
sporadic.
they really did. Something tells me they didn't want to give Kyler Murray that money.
they
I
had-
feel like they really didn't want to give it to him.
Arizona didn't have a choice, though. If they didn't give Kyler
they
Murray
just
the
didn't-
money, that's an incredibly damning testament to that
Yeah,
regime.
he goes out and
because they
balls
built
somewhere
everything
out.
for Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the whole
I think
point.
they gave him the money because, like you said, they didn't have no choice. But they really did. I don't think they believe in him like that. I think they're hoping, but they don't have that conviction that he can get them at least into the playoffs. The way, I mean, come on, man, they're not going to make the playoffs this year. The Cats are not going to make the playoffs. They're not even looking like a team that has any life. Even with a comeback win, it didn't look right.
Yeah,
It was like,
it's
man,
all Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's the only reason why they won that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just went full Bo Jackson, Tecmo Bowl.
Oh yeah.
That shit ain't gonna work.
All right.
against
Well,
great teams.
we'll see. I mean, what do you think the odds are that one of those three is? What do you think the odds are that Matt Rule makes it to the end of the season?
With Baker Mayfield as your quarterback,
I don't think so.
Because
It
look, when a
depends.
win is supposed to fix all. But I think in their cases, Kingsbury and Rule, the win still don't feel good. It still didn't feel like a good win.
Did you see like the stuff from Dan Orlovsky saying that apparently there's a tell or a way they're tipping run or pass plays in their formations?
who Carolina?
Ooh,
With
Arizona?
with Matt Rule, with Rule, Arizona
Oh,
or
God.
Carolina.
I did not see that.
Yeah,
Well,
I
if that was
right.
true, the Giants should have beat them by a lot more.
Hold on. If you got a link to that, put it in the,
Let me
in the
take a
private
look.
chat.
I mean, that's not-
Because like
That's
Matt
not
Rule
unheard
came out
of.
and said like if we didn't detect our running plays, why did we run for 146 yards against the Giants? And I'm like, because you have Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're not, you still got to stop it. Yeah.
How many tackles did he have to break?
Let's see.
I gotta guess if it's a
Dan
run over-
Orlovsky's allegation.
I just feel like a college coach who comes from Baylor, for example, like the year that he came out of Baylor to go to the NFL. You look at that Baylor team. Okay, they were good until they played a ranked team in the Big 12 championship in OU. And what happened? They got their ass smacked.
They got smoked.
Smacked. They got smoked.
Smoked.
That would have been red flag number one. I'd have been like, you know what? Yeah, let's back on this. And to me, that is the telltale sign of a coach who is not ready to be in the NFL, because you're parading and masquerading as a good college team, but when you play a good college team, you get totally exposed. You're not ready for the league if that happens to you, because that's what's going to happen every week.
Yeah.
They're gonna watch film and they're going to expose you every single week.
They're all great up here. There's no
And here we go. We got
no Iowa States.
Let me pull this up.
Although Iowa
right,
Iowa
so-
State's decent right now. Probably beat
This is
Texas.
Dan Orlovsky. Apparently, this is Dan Orlovsky. He's going to give us some info on coaching, unacceptable coaching malpractice. Yes, every Panthers fan should be ticked off. Never seen this before in the NFL. Again, like I said, when you're a college guy doing shit the college way,
Year so far,
you're going to find
straight
out.
up, this is unacceptable. It's candidly coaching malpractice. And any Panthers fan from home, you literally need to go send this to the Panthers organization. So I want everyone to pay attention to where Christian McCaffrey is. Now, we have him ringed, okay? The main focus is look at his alignment in relation to Baker Mayfield. It is clearly
2 yards
obvious
off.
that he is 1 yard behind Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, he's coming
I can
for
tell
that-
you right now, the defense
for
is
the
looking
handoff.
at this in the shotgun. When Christian McCaffrey is 1 yard behind Baker Mayfield, it is an RPO or an obvious run. Okay, you got this RPO up top slant, but he is going to hand that ball off with the backside pulling guard. He pulls it to make this throw. The result doesn't matter. Remember, 1 yard behind the quarterback, it is going to be an obviously run. Now, McCaffrey ringed again. Now look where he is. He is hip to hip with Baker Mayfield. He's on the same plane. He's not backwards, wearing the gun. Now, everyone at home, pay attention. It's an obvious passing situation. Here comes the screen. Christian McCaffrey. No, these are not cherry-picked clips. I can show you later on in the game. This is the very next shotgun snap. Now, everybody at home that was paying attention to our first clip, Christian McCaffrey was 1 yard behind Baker Mayfield, and I told you it was an RPO or run. You should be able to guess what's going to happen here. Here comes the RPO run. That ball is going to get handed off to Christian McCaffrey because he was 1 yard behind Baker Mayfield. Dan, these are not cherry-picked clips. Let's go to the very next shotgun snap. Christian McCaffrey is where? Lateral to Baker Mayfield. He's not 1 yard behind him. He's to him on the same plane. Well, everybody at home should be able to pay attention when he's right next to Baker Mayfield when it comes to his depth. There's going to be a pass. They fake the jet sweep. McCaffrey goes downfield. Right now, the Carolina Panthers are giving away the play, whether run or pass, to defenses. I'm not sitting here telling everybody that Baker Mayfield's playing great or that their offensive line is a dominant unit. But every single snap in these games, when Christian McCaffrey is 1 yard behind Baker Mayfield in the shotgun, it is a run or an RPO. When Christian McCaffrey is next to Baker Mayfield with his depth, it is a pass.
Next week he's going to stand right next to him.
They must have corrected that because they won.
They're gonna flip that.
Yeah.
Well, I think
How are you
in
gonna
the
play with
terms
that?
of the Panthers game last week, I think the Saints offense lost that more than Carolina won.
Yeah.
Like their offense was puke.
Their offense was garbage.
And also, it's kind of hard to. I mean, I don't want to be looking too much in the backfield as a defensive lineman.
Yeah.
Trying to count. Oh, are they side by side? Is he?
Well, your ends are going to give that.
And now I'm going to get blown off the ball.
But if you guess and you guess wrong, you're going to get embarrassed.
It's a good tip, for a pass rusher, though. If I'm on the open end and I can see into the backfield, no obstruction. Okay, I'll take a free, sprint off the ball on a potential rundown. So I mean, there's something there.
There's something there. I mean, and look, it's one thing to know the play or to know whether it's run or pass. It's another thing to stop it.
Yeah,
that's
true.
That's like the old the Cam Newton. Oh, you watched film too, motherfucker? Watch
this.
Yeah.
You've been watching film too.
I mean,
everybody has film. That one is just.
It's a good nugget. It's a good nugget, but
yeah,
they're going to change that. They're going to change it, and it's not going to stay like that. But let's get into our picks.
If he's being told to stay there, that's wild.
Yeah, if that's how they taught them to do it, coming out of camp, from camp into the season, then that is actually coaching malpractice.
It's got to be C-Mac just being more comfortable, giving himself more time, for the read to occur. Which but there's no way that they're being coached. Hey, on this play, stand right here.
Whenever we're running this RPO, we want you to be a yard split and a yard back from the quarterback.
But it should also fall on him to tell him, look, you're doing this now. You got to fix it.
Yeah, that. He's did it on his own, and now they're catching it.
Now you're going rogue.
But something tells me that's a college coach move.
Also true.
You know what I mean?
Oh, they'll never pay attention to this.
You know what I mean? Yeah, they can't see back there. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they don't know what's going on.
All right, let's get into our predictions. Week 4 in the NFL. It's here, folks. Tomorrow, first Thursday night game of the week. It gets rolling. Now, last week, because I actually made sure I checked on my predictions. Last week, I went 10-6. Great calls, great predictions. 2 crucial predictions that I made with Miami and Jacksonville getting the dub. But now it's week 4. We're going to go through this. We got some good matchups this week. Even better than last week, honestly. And we'll get through those, and we'll talk about that here. We got a super chat from It's Scott About. Baylor is better without Rule. When he is fired, he will end up at Nebraska.
Dude, Nebraska. Dude, if Matt Rule ends up in Nebraska,
Urban doesn't end up.
He's going to make Scott Frost look like Woody Hicks.
Matt Rule will get punished by being sent to Nevada or something.
UNLV,
yeah, UNLV,
he-
like some direct or directional state.
where you can
gotta
see
go to
directly
directional
across the
state.
highway where the NFL stadium is, and you're no longer welcome there.
I'm sure Deion could use them down at Jackson State.
Oh, Lord. Leif for $5 says, welcome to the NFL where absolutely nothing matters. Chaos reigns supreme and everything is on fire.
Not yet. Give it till week 10.
Yeah, give it a few more weeks. You'll start seeing houses collapsing.
Yeah, oh yeah.
All right. So let's start this thing off. First game up. Miami at Cincinnati. Now, if you've seen what's his name? The journalist. He put out the injury report on Twitter today. Miami's like entire team is questionable.
Yeah,
for
they
this
spent
game
it.
coming up.
They spent
So-
they blew their wad on that one.
They blew
Okay,
a wad for real.
What, 90
Buffalo's
plays of
injury report's
defense?
about the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
they have a lot of injuries too.
Yeah, 90 plays of defense and playing in a sauna, basically.
Yeah.
Not good for anybody.
Nah.
Well, it's gonna be nice and cool this week. They're going up.
Cats
to
are
Cincy.
cramping up
Shit.
left and right. And now you got to turn
And
around
it'll
in
be
4
snow.
days.
Oh yeah. So Miami, big win last week. This week they're going into Cincinnati. Oh, I mean, never get off a moving train. I think I'm going with Miami on this one. I think that they've got momentum now. They are. I don't think they're set up for a letdown because you're going up against the Bengals team that's still a good team. They just ain't figured they shit out. They got their win last week, but we got to see if they've righted the ship after all is said and done. But I think this is a Miami game. I'm going with Miami. How about it, gents?
Yeah, I think we're probably going to mostly end up on the same boat here. My center, Todd McClure, used to always say, ain't no momentum like momentum. And they got it. I think they just ride this thing out.
Is there another mentum? Slow mentum?
You got to talk to people a little bit above my pay grade. for that.
Eli Apple and Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill called him out in his press conference or his interview session in the locker room. Eli Apple should be definitely getting hyped up for this game. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it'll be a good game, but I see Miami. I see Miami getting a touchdown win.
Not sure it matters if he gets.
What do you say, Tree?
The only reason why I'm picking Cincinnati is just because Miami's so battered right now. You don't know if Tua's going to be at full strength. They have a bunch of injuries on the report, as you said. I think Cincinnati's starting to finally figure a little bit out. I get they played the Jets last week, but they have home field advantage, different weather environment. They are Miami's coming off a game where they just battled endlessly.
Yeah.
Cincy was just like, oh, we just played the Jets and we crushed them, and the Jets self-destructed in every single way. That's why I think the Bengals pull this one out.
Yeah, to me, this smells like a massive trap game for the Dolphins. Bengals on the rise a little bit. Dolphins kind of tired and banged up. I like the Bengals to shock. I
don't know if it's really a shock per se, though.
I might bet that game.
I mean, this is a good
Don't
game.
bet
I don't
it.
think this is I don't think it's a letdown game because the Bengals aren't a bad team.
No.
Yeah, but
they're
it's
a good
a
team.
Trap. I smell the trap.
It's not a trap, though.
Could
Bengals
be,
are a good team.
could be.
Whatever.
Yeah, they're not.
All
I'm
right.
looking
I'm just
past
taking the
them.
Bengals. Taking the
No one's looking
Bengals.
past them.
The trap game is this next game.
Yeah.
Chargers at Houston. Chargers coming off that 38-10 shellacking by them Duval boys.
Oh, you lose your
And-
blindside protector, one of your best rushers. Quarterback.
Your left tackle's gone for the season.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterback's
Corey
still
Linsley.
hurt.
Oh yeah, Corey Lindsey's still out.
Corey Lindsey's out.
J.C. Jackson's still out.
They are a battered team. And
Hey,
look,
man,
this
it's
Chargers
football,
team is
man.
a very, very good team that is experiencing what is one of the tragedies in football is when you have a good team that gets decimated by injuries and then they look like they're not a good team anymore. And this is a team that people expected to fly high, potentially even contending. And by all measures, they should be, and it's early in the season, but they should be contenders. But
Is
when
is
you
Keenan
have
Allen
injuries,
still out?
yeah,
You guys know?
Keenan Allen's out.
That was a hamstring, right?
He was out last. Yeah, he was out last week. I'm assuming he'll still be out with a hammy.
Probably.
But this is a team that is decimated right now by injuries, and these are injuries where cats ain't coming back from it. So
yeah,
this is a trap game if there ever was one. If they go out there with 60%, 70% of their starters, and they can't put up a quick 14 to give themselves a little space with these cats, they're gonna fuck around and catch themselves in a battle in the fourth quarter, and that's where they lose. That's where some bum who ain't played but like 10 snaps comes in during the 2-minute drill, catches a quick swim move or spin move on the guard or tackle, and then you just see Herbert's ribs get opened all the way up, and he's done. He's done.
Oof.
That's what happens.
This is what happens, Walter.
I mean,
all that being said, I'm still going LA.
My gut.
Close.
Like,
closer than people think.
Yeah.
The Texans are so bad, dude.
They're tanking, dude. I mean,
my logic is telling me even with 70% of your starters, you should be able to beat the Texans. It may be too close for comfort, but you should be able to beat it. What do you guys think?
This is going to be closer than people want or are comfortable with, but I still think LA.
I mean, the Texans did beat the Chargers last year, but the Texans are blatantly tanking. They looked awful even against the Bears. It's got to be Chargers. They can't lose.
They looked awful against the Bears, and they almost fucking won
because Justin Herbert can't throw accurately. He threw more accurately to Jalen Petrie than he did his own receivers.
Oh God! All right, so I think we agree. Chargers should win this. We're giving them the benefit of the doubt here. Don't fuck this off, Los Angeles. God, it's so terrible calling them Los Angeles. That should just be San Diego.
This should be San Diego or San Antonio.
Next game up, you know what I mean? Next game up, it's the battle of the others in the AFC South. Tennessee at Indianapolis. Indy coming off a huge win. Not all the way through their own hand, but they beat the Chiefs. You got to give that to them. They beat the Chiefs. Tennessee. Who the hell did they play last week? They played
the Raiders.
Oakland. Yeah, they came back and beat Oakland. And that was, I mean, should that have happened? Because they were down like 20-0 at one point. Or 20-10, something like that. They were down bad. And they came back and won it. So now you got the divisional. This division matchup. Tennessee generally goes into Indy and lays a fucking egg. So I'm actually going to go with the Colts here. I think the Colts got this one. I think they're going to get. I think they're going to
defer to the AFC South expert.
Y'all know when I call the AFC South shit, it goes down.
I learned to stop picking against you in this division.
I like
Lord.
I like the Colts.
Yeah,
Tennessee's got problems, man.
Tennessee has a hard time finishing off opponents. It happened week 1. It happened week 3. I think they're going to have the same issue. Colts pull it out and win.
Yep. I think we all agree there. Colts may have found a little bit more, chemistry after that.
Yeah, they had a big win too. Big
win.
Shift.
I mean, Matt's going to figure shit out.
Yeah, he knows how to play.
Oh yeah, he's a pro. Okay, next game up. Now this is a huge game. This is a big game.
Mm-hmm.
This is a big boy game like last week was a big boy game for Buffalo. Buffalo's going into Baltimore. Man, this is going to be a quarterback showdown in the whole town.
2 MVP favorites.
2 MVP candidates, surely.
2 battered defenses.
2 battered defenses, 2 quarterbacks that can create a ton of problems. Man, I mean, I feel like this is about as even a matchup as you could expect. I think the edge, at least from, on paper, would go to Buffalo because they have a receiving core that, is actually pretty useful. And Mark Andrews is Lamar Jackson's main target. He's his safety blanket. At tight end for Baltimore, their receiving core is not, it's not the same as what Buffalo has. But that is negated by the explosive, versatile, dynamic play of number 8. That cat, he can just run a QB draw, and that's a touchdown from anywhere on the field. QB draw, touchdown. He's playing his best games, right? He's playing the best of his career right now.
And it's still early. His money.
Been an MVP.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
guys, I'm just got an update from TNC. Apparently, Coolio's died at 59.
Oh my god!
Oh
no! Ooh,
wow.
Coolio.
Coolio. Damn.
What the fuck?
It just reported TMZ like 5 minutes ago.
I didn't realize he was that old.
Yeah, Coolio dead at 59. What the fuck? R.I.P. to Coolio, y'all. Put that R.I.P. in the chat, because man, this dude is some of y'all might be too young. I don't know, but this dude, man,
he was big in the mid '90s, man.
Huge. I mean,
TRL era.
I think honestly, this is my honest opinion. No offense to anybody out there. I think Coolio was the artist who introduced rap to white folks. Because that Dangerous Minds movie with Michelle Pfeiffer, he did the soundtrack for Gangsta's Paradise. Gangsta's Paradise was the first rap song that Show Pops was singing if he was a white kid. Minute after minute, hour after hour.
The funniest part, the funniest Coolio story was that he did not want Weird Al Yankovic to do a parody of that song. In fact, he fought it like really hard, and then when he heard it, he was like, "Oh, that's fine, whatever, okay." He was like, "That's funny."
Yeah. I think I remember hearing about that, just because I think he thought Weird Al was he thought he was
dissing him.
Yeah, basically it was a diss on him.
He thought he was making fun of him. He was like, "No,
It made him bigger. It made him even bigger.
Yeah, sold a lot
23
of
now, but will I lift a seat 24 the way that I'm going? I don't know. Tell me why are we so blind to see?
Uche.
R.I.P. Coolio, man.
Yeah,
Damn, that's crazy.
He had some beef with Stevie Wonder over that too.
Really?
Over,
for calling him blind?
No.
Stevie Wonder's not blind.
He sampled a song and he didn't. I don't think Stevie approved, or liked what he was doing with it. But money's money.
Yeah, money's money. I give you enough to shut up.
Didn't you see it? It was in the contract, Stevie.
Damn.
All right, so yeah, definitely R.I.P. to Coolio. I'm gonna take time to read that after the show, but let's keep going here. What are we thinking here, man? Because honestly, dude, I mean, I'm gonna go with Baltimore on this one. I think no. Fuck, I don't know. I think Baltimore, because Lamar Jackson. I mean, that if all things are equal, which they're really not, because the receiving cores are different. But I don't think Josh Allen is. No, not that I don't think he can be that kind of player like Lamar, because he is in his own way. But Lamar Jackson can score. They can get 30 points before the half.
He might be the most electrifying athlete.
And look at his passes. His passes are on point, dude. Like, nobody say nothing about this guy throwing the ball. He's throwing that mug on the money. On the money. I think Baltimore wins this game.
Are they down to like their third left tackle?
It's hard.
Or something?
It's hard to go play in Baltimore, dude. It's hard.
It is.
It
very
is.
hard to go play there.
I
played there a couple times.
I think they're going to bounce back. They're like, "Oh, that weather's cold again.
Give us our powers back." I mean, Von Miller's playing, and Ronnie Staley's not. I don't even know if the backup left tackle's playing. I mean, I'm still not sure that's enough, because you might beat the guy clean and Lamar just scrambles.
Lamar doesn't need he don't need you to block for him very long at all, because a lot of times what you're getting from the D-line anyway is you're getting wide lane rushes.
Yeah, you got
gives you
maintain your rush lane.
Stay in their lane. Don't get out of your rush lane, because if you do, he's gone. And then once he gets past the line of scrimmage, that might be a score. We don't even know. How are we going to catch him?
Kiss the baby. Yeah.
So it's not like you can threaten him with a pass rush like that.
He's not a normal human. Golly, this was really difficult. I want to see Baltimore.
Okay. All right, Tree, what you got?
I think this is going to be a high-scoring affair. I think both defenses are really weak, especially with injuries in the secondary. I just don't trust Baltimore secondary to hold out Josh Allen for long. I think Buffalo wins.
Well, I mean, they're down like their entire secondary too, though, aren't they?
Both of them, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know, like a good chunk of it.
Hey, time to make your name.
All right, so we got 2 for Buffalo, 2 for Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
Next game up, we got these Steelers are hosting the New York Jets. I think our boy is back for the Jets, the quarterback.
The motherfucker.
Yeah.
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson's back. They're going into Pittsburgh. They suck, but Pittsburgh can fuck this off. I don't know why. I feel like
I don't think.
Uche, you're not wrong because there's at least one game every year. Doesn't matter who's coaching. If it's Noel, Tomlin, or Cowher, there's at least 1 or 2 games a year where they inexplicably shit the bed against really bad teams. And it happens every year. It happened last year. I think it was against the they tied the Lions last year.
Oh, that's right.
That was the one.
Yeah.
Then the Raiders a couple years ago, they lost to the Jets in 19, which cost them a playoff spot. But
see, this is my reasoning. This is my reasoning behind why I'm scared for Pittsburgh. Because defenses in the NFL generally do not like to play against a quarterback that they don't have any film for that season. That's the scary thing for defenses because you don't want a guy to come out and do things that you're not, that you don't necessarily expect him to do. Right. Now, will they think, is Zach Wilson going to throw the ball to you on defense? Yeah, he's going to do that once or twice. But are you ready if he tries to be more dynamic? Because he does have speed. He can run.
So you can move.
And if you haven't seen any film on him to know what, to get a feel for what situations he tries, when he tries to extend plays, when it's hard to explain, but you feel like a quarterback better when you've seen film on him, what some of his tendencies are, what he, where his limitations may be in threatening outside of the pocket. You haven't really even seen if they have any packages for Zach Wilson that they haven't even used because they had Joe Flacco. So there may be a number of packages that they haven't even used yet this season because of that. And that's where you can get caught off guard and you can catch, a certain package of plays that they can just rotate on you that's hard to stop.
Yeah, now you're
trying
to be ready for everything.
You're scrambling to try and figure it out during the game, trying to adjust to it. Well, what if they have an adjustment? Now because the last thing you want to do is if it gets into a game where these cats if it's a high-scoring game, I feel like Pittsburgh might lose. I feel like Pittsburgh needs to win this game like 17-3.
Yeah.
Or 17-10.
If
you get into the 24s and you know what I mean? If they score more than 3 times, it's going to be a hard game for Pittsburgh.
If the Jets score more than 20 points, the Steelers are losing.
Yeah, it's going to be hard because
it's going to be tougher than
they don't have an offense that can put up 30 points if they need it. They need it.
Custom made.
I trust for the. I don't have trust putting Steelers going into the end zone. Not with this coordinator. Trubisky's limited. Najee's having trouble. The offensive line's having trouble run blocking. Receivers dropping balls. I mean, I'm sorry. I got to pick the Jets. And maybe it's my cynicism of saying that the Steelers always play down to their competition. That has been a trope for as long as time. I think that continues here.
You know what? I'm gonna ride with you on that because I was trying to give myself an excuse to give the Steelers the win, but I think the Jets are gonna come in there and it's gonna be.
I've seen this story too many times. I've seen it. I'll be shocked if they actually win.
I got the Steelers all day. No way they go 2 games under 500. You got to be kidding me.
They won 2 games under 500 last year.
Yeah, well, I don't see it.
Not gonna happen again.
You can't have the Jets beating the Steelers and the Cowboys beating the Giants. Can't have that.
The Jets beat the Steelers in 19.
Ooh.
Shit.
I mean, I don't even know man for man if they got the talent, but it's all about, like you said, playing down to your competition. Once you play down to them, they can beat anybody. They can beat you in any way. And there's unpredictable ways that they can win the game.
Plus, don't forget, Minka might be out too with concussion issues. And without TJ
he's
Watt, you have no pass rush and exposed to the secondary.
So now you got to cover
Zach
longer.
Wilson is going to have time to sit in the pocket and run.
And Garrett Wilson looks pretty good.
Yeah, he does.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, you might have changed my mind.
Yeah,
I'll take the Jets.
Steelers.
I don't like to rail on the team I grew up
Jets were
rooting for,
trash.
but as I said, I've seen this movie way too many times.
And I mean, and people in the chat are asking, obviously, how good is Zach Wilson? Well, look, don't let the preseason fool you into thinking somebody's good or bad. We don't know how good he is this year because he ain't played.
Yeah.
And he's coming out fresh, and I promise you, they will have a package of plays that they have not run that he would have been running if he was playing, but they don't run it because you can't run anything like that with Joe Flacco.
Right.
What
Just
they
stand
need to
there and
do
throw.
is do the LT, but instead of giving hookers, they need to send cougars up to his run.
Ooh, I'll tell you one thing. If they win that game, going to Pittsburgh and win, I mean, I think that's going to be enough that's going to put Mike Tomlin on notice that you need to like get this right now. I don't think Pittsburgh is going to panic if they lose because Pittsburgh's not going to panic.
Pittsburgh's not a panic.
Never be hot.
They're not. Yeah, they're not a
He's never
panic
gonna be warm.
franchise. They don't do panicking.
Yeah,
But,
he's never even going to be tepid.
yeah, somebody's just going to look at him and nod their head like,
You see what's going on?
get that motherfucker right.
Dude's got job security the level of John McKay in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I think Mike Tomlin has probably the most. He probably has the most job security in the NFL. Bar none. I mean, you can't argue against what he's done. You just can't. What are you gonna say? We had losing seasons? Nope. Oh, we didn't have Super Bowls? Yes, we did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's keep going here. Next matchup. And this one, I feel like this is gonna be an ugly ass, sorry ass game.
Sorry ass game.
At Las Vegas.
Jesus.
Denver at Las Vegas. I don't got no faith in these Broncos, but I also don't got no more faith in these Raiders. And I mean, I'm sorry, I wanted that. I feel like the Raiders should have been something, but like y'all said when we talked about it on a dumpster fire to start the season, McDaniels as head coach will spell doom for this franchise, and it seems like they're the only team that ain't got to win in the NFL.
Should have kept Versace.
Yep.
Goddamn shame.
I wanted to believe.
Broncos, God, they look like hot garbage too. Oh man. I mean, I can't even go on talent with the Raiders because they don't have the infrastructure to use the talent. That's the problem.
Can I pick a scoreless tie?
And it's a 3-3 tie.
This does not.
Jeez. I
not
mean,
look
I
right.
don't really know who has the advantage here. I haven't been able to see enough of Las Vegas's games outside of like the highlights to really get a feel for what the team looks like. But you can't be front running and then lose the game. You can't front run on two teams in a row and lose the game. You can't be up 3 scores and lose. Like, come on. But I mean, and if you do that enough times, it'll break the team. If you do it enough times, the team will break, and then people will start getting disgruntled. Coaches will start talking shit. Players will start talking shit to coaches, and then your head coach, sooner or later, as things get worse, he gonna be gone.
You mean the same thing that happened in Denver under McDaniels?
Yeah, exactly.
Where have we seen
So
this before?
these Raiders are in a bad situation right now, and they shouldn't be, but they are in a horrible situation right now. But even with that, they got a fucking chance in this game at home. Even with that, because the Broncos don't have their shit together. But they went and hired some outside help, so things swing their way off that, having to listen to somebody who can see it from the outside and be like, "Look, bro, that was a terrible fucking call. All right,
Don't do that again.
Don't do that again. All right, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with the Broncos here, just because there is a cloud of doom over the Raiders right now, and I don't think they don't have the leadership to escape that. That's what I'll say.
Lightning struck right near the Vegas home stadium.
I saw that video.
Yes.
Bad omen.
Very ominous. Right?
Bad omen. Oh man, what do y'all think?
Broncos country. That's rad.
That's right.
I actually like the Raiders. I think they're going to be super desperate, and they're going to come out and play, maybe their best game of the season. I think the Broncos are very gettable too. Like, you can get to them. Like, they can't score. They can't really move the ball. They struggled against the Niners, or who'd they play?
Niners.
Yeah.
They beat the Niners 11-10.
Yeah.
Shit.
Damn near baseball score.
It's a hockey score.
Give me the Raiders. I don't give a fuck if I'm right or wrong.
I'm picking the Broncos only because I want them to dance on Josh McDaniel's grave when the game ends.
It was such a bad decision to hire that cat. I don't know why look,
because
man,
it's
you got to stop going after
reason...
these sexy picks. These sexy coaching hires are the worst hires.
It's not even a sexy hire. It's all Belichick's leftovers, and everyone knows Belichick does everything in that system. That's why they always fail.
But everybody thinks that it's going to work for them. That's the problem. That's why I say that they're going after sexy picks, because they all think, oh, well, it didn't work for Dan Patricia. It didn't work for Romeo Crennel. It didn't work for any of these cats. It didn't even work at Notre Dame for Charlie Weiss. It didn't even work for him. But everybody thinks, oh, we're going to be the guy that the Belichick tree is going to bless us.
There's something that Bill's not telling these guys. Bill's holding something
I had
back
Tom
from
Brady.
everybody.
That's what he ain't telling them. I had Tom Brady. You have to have a legendary quarterback.
Here's the thing. You got to go find yourself a Hall of Fame quarterback. That's it. It's so easy.
That's the only way it's going to work. All right, let's keep moving here. Next game up. Ooh, Cleveland coming to the A. Cleveland coming to Atlanta. We don't know. Is Myles Garrett cleared? I mean, obviously, if you didn't know,
I don't.
He had a car
bicep and shoulder strains. I don't think he's going to play. But he's very fortunate to be alive.
By the way, I'm not buying that he swerved and missed an animal.
He was getting some head. He was getting some head.
Saying. Yeah.
He leaned back a little bit, and he was like, "Oh shit!"
Yep.
Damn.
When they said, if he was the only person in that car, I would buy it. But they said he had a passenger, and they're not saying who it was. They're not saying it was a teammate. They're just like,
have you not seen the video? You ain't seen the video?
No.
I've seen
the police.
I've seen the
body cam video.
No,
body cam footage. Oh, it's a female.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I already rolled the car several times.
She laying on the ground. She laying on the ground like 10 feet away from him with the EMT, with a firefighter over. It's a female.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, look at those socks. Look at them pants. That's a female.
He can't drive when he's getting hit. He need to work on his game.
We're here getting topped off.
You know what I mean? That's exactly what it was too. I don't care what nobody says.
I don't buy it. Yeah, I swerved. Where's the animal?
Yeah.
Show me his body.
Yeah, you flipped your shit, cuz. When's the last time you swerved enough to flip your car because of an animal?
Right, you just hitting the animal. You're just like, what was it? Was that in the road? Oh shit!
Yeah, sorry, Peter.
You know what I mean?
The dude was probably rolling 100 to 120. That's probably why he rolled.
Oh, to flip that multiple times? He was doing that. Yeah, he was definitely close to 100, at least 100.
That's fine. The finest German engineering.
Hey, and those cars are safe. No, he was in a Porsche. That's Italian.
Lucky.
Porsche. But I mean, like that. Yeah, I mean that cage did not bend or break.
Yeah,
Yeah, they might still use that thing.
Yeah, I mean, if he was in like a Charger or a Camaro or
he'd be dead.
Or something like that, he'd be dead because that shit.
You remember these supercars? They're worth the money. You remember the Earl Spence video with that fucking Ferrari he totaled?
Oh yeah,
he's still out here fighting.
Oh yeah, I mean, shoot.
I mean, that thing flipped over and disintegrated, and he had He fucking walked away.
Mhm.
He's cocooned in airbags. That's what he was.
I guess that's what you pay for.
That's
Going
what you pay
90
for.
miles an
Shoot,
hour.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
And
You better be safe.
So what we think here? I mean, look, they're coming into Atlanta. Atlanta, they pulled out a win last week against Seattle. And I mean, Geno Smith, is what's his name that much better than Geno?
Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby? I feel like they're birds of a feather.
Yeah, they're probably the same guy.
I feel like that's the same guy. But difference is, without Myles
Still got Nick
Garrett,
Chubb.
that does the running game for Cleveland will be the difference there. I'm gonna go with Cleveland with this one. I think they're gonna come in there and pull that out.
Yeah,
I like Cleveland too. It's the Falcons, man.
It's Nick Chubb and the Browns defense. I'm picking Browns.
Yeah, I think we all Browns on that one. $5 super chat from It's Scout About. Nickelodeon posted a poll that Trevor Lawrence was winning, and they deleted, announced Lamar Jackson as the winner because he was the predetermined one. Nickelodeon?
Wait, what?
Okay. You got to put a link in.
I'm a little confused by the sentence.
Hold on. Kane Emmons for $2 says Porsche is German. Super fun, super safe. Porsche is Italian.
No, Porsche is definitely German.
They're German.
Porsche's mad
German?
Yeah. That's that German engineering. It's Porsche.
Who's
get
Italian?
fancy.
Like Alfa Romeo is Italian.
Alfa Romeo is Italian.
I've been living my
Ferrari's
whole life
Italian.
thinking Porsche.
Yeah, Ferrari.
Porsche's Italian.
Yeah.
It's German now.
McLaren's
But
actually.
look, I
German.
got an Audi. Like all I've ever had is Audi.
That's German.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Audi,
German, right? It's German. Audi,
BMW,
Mercedes,
Porsche.
BMW. Those are the three big German. I mean,
Yeah,
damn,
BMW.
I thought Porsche was Italian. Hold on, man. I believe you guys, but
Nah, man. Porsche is German all the way, man.
Porsche.
I know my car companies.
Well, either way, all them supercars are pretty well made. Ooh, owned by VW. Okay.
Damn. Hold on. What?
It's a Beetle.
Porsche's German. Huh. Fucking A.
I didn't know that either.
I thought it was Italian. And I swore, because one time I came to Atlanta from Jacksonville and I rented a Porsche. And I was like, this Italian trash. This shit drives like shit.
They're not great cars. Yeah.
I was in a
Yeah,
911
bro.
turbo. A 911 turbo.
Oh shit!
Damn.
Those things.
And
fly.
I was like, what is this, rear wheel drive? I was like, this is fucking trash. I was like talking shit about the car while I was driving it. I'm like, this is garbage. I'll never buy a Porsche.
Oh shit! Aaron Judge finally hit 61.
There it is.
He did. Hey!
Let's go, Judge.
Bang, bang.
Hopefully Zach Campbell didn't catch the ball.
Yeah. All right, we got Jacksonville.
So we got Cleveland. Now we got Jacksonville at
Ooh,
Philadelphia.
This will be good.
Another stadium with somewhat garbage field in it. Their field is a little bit iffy for me. Last time I played there.
Yeah.
So this is the matchup. I think this is the matchup of the week, to be honest, because you got two teams that are top of their divisions. Two teams that have ascending quarterback play.
You think this is bigger than Tom and Pat Mahomes?
Man, them Chiefs about to blow them the fuck out.
You're probably right. They are decimated right now.
This game is going to be I think this is going to be a high scoring game. Nah. You know what? I'm going to be bold here. I'm going to be a little bit of an asshole. Jacksonville is going to beat the shit out of Philadelphia.
Really?
Jacksonville's defense is arguably the best defensive unit in the NFL right now. Jacksonville's offense, the offensive line, has not given up a sack yet.
Telling stat.
Oh wow. Well, you just jinxed them.
Yet. And Jacksonville's running game is near the top of the league right now. James Robinson is going to be a big factor in this game. Trevor Lawrence is going to be a big factor in this game. Christian Kirk is going to be a big factor in this game. Trayvon Walker is going to be a big factor in this game.
Yeah, he is.
That cat is playing like a pro. He's playing it all. He looks like an all-pro now with the way he's been playing. And I'm not talking about stats necessarily. I'm talking about how
just the eyeball
technique,
test.
his technique, his IQ is there. He's good. I think Jacksonville shocks the fucking world and beats soundly Philadelphia Eagles Duval.
All right. All those reasons that you listed out categorically and so eloquently, my counter argument is fuck no, it's the Eagles.
I'm gonna concur with 5. It's gotta be the Eagles. Their offense is too potent.
Oh, my bad. We gave up
next
one
week,
sack this year.
If they win next week, you can talk all the shit. You can talk. I will gladly take that if Jaguars win.
Let me tell you something.
saying.
We're going to beat Philadelphia.
Okay.
And when we do, I'm going to come up with something for y'all to do if Jackson, when they win.
Right.
I'm going to need y'all to
Yeah,
I'm going to need y'all to put on
going
a
Eagles
onesie. Take a selfie with a onesie on and use it as your profile picture for the whole week.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, man.
You got a custom make a onesie that big.
And you got to start an OnlyFans.
Wow.
I already got one of those. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean,
Look, say what you want. Say what you want about OnlyFans, but live it in.
Right, there you go.
Money.
This house don't pay for itself.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we got Philly. Okay, JB, who
let's say God. I'm going Eagles.
Yeah, so it's us against the world. You hear me, Jacksonville?
They didn't
us
believe
against the world, son.
They didn't
Nobody believe we could win this game. They didn't believe you could win last week.
Hey, yo,
Well, fuck
so
'em.
real quick, speaking of OnlyFans, did you see Rachel Dolezal has an OnlyFans?
I heard
You know
about
who that is?
really?
I heard about this.
Mm-hmm.
These chicks be getting on OnlyFans. They get it quick, like 2-3 million.
I mean, who's gonna hire her though?
And then they
Like,
just dip off.
Someone will hire anybody.
I'm just saying, who's gonna hire the girl that fake being black? Like everybody knows who Rachel Dolezal is.
I mean, some people like that shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right? That might be the new fetish.
Yeah,
Hey, there is somebody who's already emptying their bank account into her shit.
yeah,
Like,
she's gonna make millions.
The weird thing is, her face looks like she's a 55-year-old man. I don't know who would get into that.
Yeah, I
Dear
know.
God, it's like somebody face warped, like Joe Biden's face onto this. It's like, oh
It's like,
God.
yeah.
It's like who's like this is like a clickbait punishment. You have to get off.
It's like,
the
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm in the 26-year-olds who look like they're 50.
I need you to get me another bag of cigarettes quickly.
Oh.
It's like Kingpin.
Yeah. You knock something loose
All
there.
right. The next game up here, we got.
What is it about good sex that always makes you have the shit? All right, enough of that.
Oh shit! New England at Green Bay. I think this is Green Bay. I don't even.
This is a wash.
Yeah.
These
That's
cats
easy.
done. They done.
Mac Jones is out. Yeah, you don't.
Brian
Yeah, they
Hoyer's
done.
starting the game, I think.
Ooh, Hoyer's still in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Damn.
This
he's
is
in
like
that shit
his
forever.
fourth time.
Yeah,
Fourth time with the Patriots.
Fourth or fifth.
He was a Brown. He was a
Yeah.
Texan.
He was in Dallas.
Yeah, he was in Dallas. Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Kansas
Either way.
City at Green Bay. Yeah, his ass gonna be he gonna be in New England. All right. After this
gonna
one.
be on the ground.
For real.
As
They're gonna
hell.
put his grave. They're gonna put his grave in New England after he gets his ass run through by these Packers. Next game up, we got Kansas City at Tampa. I mean, I feel like this is a much easier game to call than people think. Kansas City is going to beat Tampa.
Yeah. I mean, same here.
Senseless. I don't think this is going to be that close.
Yeah, they
thinking
mad.
2
They
scores.
pissed off. They're like, we lost to the
pissed.
Colts.
We lost
They're
to
taking
the
extra
fucking
reps.
Colts.
Yeah.
Taking extra reps.
I didn't tell you they called me up to play receiver for the Buccaneers.
They gave you a tryout.
Can you run a 5-yard out? I can.
I said, I got 5 yards for
Welcome to the team.
you. I got 5 yards. That's all, though.
Captain check down.
5 yards, and I'm trucking the first motherfucker that gets there.
Mm-hmm.
Then pump one.
Minnesota at New Orleans.
Nolans.
I mean,
That's
does New
a tough
Orleans bounce
one.
back? Do they bounce
New Orleans
back?
is trash. They are bad.
They didn't
They
look
are
good at
not
all.
good. Jameis is banged up. Like, I don't know what Jameis is doing.
Yeah, doesn't he have
I
like
mean,
fractured vertebrae or something?
Yeah, what's he? Why is he
Speaking of-
playing?
Speaking of shouldn't be playing,
Put Taysom Hill's ass out there.
Oh, I'm doing this for this is for you. This is for you, Jameis. This is for you, buddy. Hold on.
What you got?
I think I know what you're aiming for.
Is broken.
What a vertebrae or what portion?
Spinal.
Spinal.
I broke my back.
Hey, the way he says it, I broke my back.
Back is
picture on that
broken.
man's face. You could not
Spinal.
tell him he was.
He didn't lift either. Spinal.
You could not tell that man he was wrong. Yes, Mike, that is also part of the vertebrae is included.
Yes. Mike
Oh
the baddest.
God,
Peak Mike.
this is the greatest soundbite
nobody
ever.
Ain't
The
nobody
way he
mess with Peak
exhales
Mike.
at the end of each sentence. It's
I broke my back.
What do you mean by that? You
My
broke
back is broken.
what? A vertebrae or what
Well-
portion?
Spinal. I broke my
as you're sitting there.
So great. This is so great.
I broke my back. All right, who you picking?
Uh,
All right, let me
Not
pull
New
this
Orleans.
up.
Fuck those guys.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
good. I
I'm
think
ne-
this is
I'm never betting the Saints again.
yeah, I'm going Minnesota on this one.
Yeah, it's
They're gonna make them
Vikings.
Bitches. Fuck them.
Saints
Washington
offense is,
at yeah, their
Dallas.
offense is done so.
Oh.
Saints, I'm sorry, Washington command the commies at the Cowboys. Cowboys
Oh,
defense, man.
You
Them
don't gotta
boys are
ask.
balling right now.
you
You don't
have
gotta
to
ask. This one's easy. The
Yeah.
commies
slow
are
it down.
trizzle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just completely dysfunctional
Commies are
organization
trizzle.
from the top down at this
Yeah.
point.
Commies about to have another Red Scare and purge their ranks, so I'm gonna say
Yeah.
Cowboys.
I'd be faking a hamstring right now if I was an offensive lineman for the commies.
Well,
All
Chase
right,
Willie is
so
out,
that
so I
one,
mean,
that's
they're
probably
not
the
too far
easiest
away.
call of the night.
actually, this one might be easier.
Yeah, actually,
That's
yeah,
perfect.
this one might be easier. Seattle at Detroit. I feel like Detroit got this.
I like what Detroit's doing.
I
Yeah.
like what they're doing. They're doing everything the right way. They just the
Biting
wins will come.
kneecaps, sweeping legs,
Yeah.
whatever.
The only wish I had is Dan Campbell knew something about game management, because if he goes for it on 4th and 4 instead of try to kick a field goal to go up by 6, he wins that game. I don't know
Yeah.
why he didn't try and go for it there.
Jeff Goff, don't believe in that motherfucker.
Jared Goff's actually doing well in these first 3
Jared
games.
Goff.
Yeah,
Hey, you're just waiting.
I'm
It's
not
just
gonna
a count.
lie,
It's not,
You
it's
might
not
as well
whether or
call him
not
Jack off.
They're
It's
not-
a countdown, not a count up. We're counting down to his self-destruction.
He's still got 100 million guaranteed. He don't care. His
Yeah,
wife's
he
a
don't give a
smoke
fuck.
show, dude.
Hey, he won. He won at life.
He
Yeah,
won all the way
exactly.
in life. All right, so I
If
think
there's reincarnation, let me come back as a guy like
I
that.
got the Lions. You got the Lions. You got the Lions. Who else got the Lions? What about you, Fi? You got the Lions.
Yes, the Lions. And I had the
All right.
Cowboys too. My bad. I was
Oh
tweeting.
no, we didn't even need to ask on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was the easy one. Yeah, that's an assumption of consensus. Chicago at New York. Giants coming off that loss to the Cowboys.
Someone allegedly has to win this.
I feel like this is a big game for New York. in that on one end, you want to bounce back from that loss against Dallas. But on the other end, you can actually you can actually kind of get right on the Bears, because even with their record, that record is a false flag.
True. Yeah, I'm with you there.
They are the most garbage 2-1 you'll ever see in the NFL. The most garbage 2-1. I think Giants get this one. I mean, they're not going to blow them out, but they'll do enough to make it feel good.
Yeah, I'm hoping Saquon has a big day. I'm in agreement with you. They're going to win here. I don't think it's big. Just a nip and tuck game.
Yeah, that's what they do.
A tight 10-point game. Nice 10-point, maybe 10, maybe 13-point win at the most.
Do something to de-emphasize Danny Dimes.
Yeah.
Probably Saquon in the defense.
Saquon, 35 carries, 135 yards. All right, so we got that. Now this one is the battle of the fucking bums.
Can we just give both these teams losses and just call it a day?
I'm talking about these Cardinals at Carolina.
Who's going to get their coach fired first?
One thing that was telling to me about Carolina last week when they got the win was, if you watched Baker Mayfield going back into the locker room after the win, going into the tunnel, it didn't look like they won that game. Did not look like they won that game. And when you have that kind of, when a win doesn't cure all, quote unquote, you're about to be in for a rough one, because you got
smart,
lucky.
man. He can read the writing on the wall. He knows it's about to be a long ass season.
Mm-hmm. But even with
we
this,
we got him today, but we're still gonna get our head beat in 15 more times, or whatever.
With as much disdain as I have for Arizona, for just on principle how bad they are, how underwhelming they are, I think even as an underperforming franchise, they should be able to beat the Panthers.
They better.
Because of one man's talent. They should.
They should. They better.
You know what I mean? If they don't, he's gone. He should. If they don't beat him, Cliff Kingsbury they're putting the first letter of his name up on the pink slip. First letter. Cliff.
They're gonna get him in the end zone.
You know what I mean?
They're
waiting for him like they're waiting on Herm. They said, Herm, hey Herm, come here.
Hey, come over here for a second.
Hey, let me see that locker room pass right there. That got your name on it? Yeah, give me that. Get your shit. Get your shit's outside the doors.
Like, that's fine. Where that check at?
Oh yeah, yo, where my money?
Run me that check.
All right, last game on the Week 4 prediction show.
Wait a second. Is that the Sunday night? What's the Sunday night game? Are they in order of like chronological order here?
The Monday night, Sunday night
yeah.
The Monday night game is. Yeah, I think the Sunday night game is the Arizona game.
Oh God.
No, actually, Sunday night's Kansas City, Tampa Bay.
Okay,
Arizona, Carolina's 4-5.
What week do they start flexing?
Not sure.
It's pretty late, like 9 or 10, maybe. Can't be soon enough.
All right, so we got Los Angeles, the Rams at San Fran playing the Niners. This one is, I think this is a closer game than probably people think, because you got two quarterbacks who are, in struggle nation right now. There's an innate feeling that somehow Jimmy G is gonna get her done in San Fran.
Get her done.
I feel like this is a good team. San Francisco has a good roster. The quarterback situation is what it is. They live or die a lot of times by their quarterback. And if he doesn't have a good game, it's going to be tough. But San Fran is they seem to be resilient enough to be able to pull wins out, and especially being at home on Monday night. I mean, you kind of have to. You don't want to look. That's the last place you want to look bad. Now, the Rams don't get to see much of them. Don't get a large dose of their games, obviously. But they appear to be having a tad bit. They're getting out of that hangover phase from the Super Bowl. It feels like they're kind of shaking it off. Started the season slow a little bit, the first game, but I don't know. I think defense is where it will likely come down to, and I think LA has the edge there. So I'm actually going to go with LA on this one.
Yeah, same here. Trent Williams out 4 to 6 weeks, I believe. I don't know who the backup
Trent
is.
Williams out, yeah.
But he ain't Trent Williams. So
I think it's like 4 to 6, and then Al-Shair's out too for like 8.
Does not bode well. LA. Yeah, should be able to generate.
I'm picking LA.
I got LA. San Francisco. Jimmy G looked like
Jimmy
shit,
the happy feet.
dude. He looked like shit against the Broncos. Come on, man.
Pulling the Gorlowski and run out the back of the end zone.
Come on, yeah.
And this ain't the week he gonna get good.
He tried to end racism by stepping on the sign. He was like, man, I'll take matters into my own hands here.
We appreciate the effort.
Yep. So that's it, folks. There you have it.
Made it.
We got through it. We got our selections. Let me lock this shit in.
Oh yeah. By the way, the London game. There is a London game this weekend.
Yep,
It's
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Yeah, it's Saints Vikings.
Yeah. See, the Saints don't even have a home field advantage. Like they just out there. Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham. Hey, mate. Tottenham. Uche, when y'all went to London, where did you play? In Wembley or something?
Yeah, we played in Wembley. That shit was dope.
New Wembley,
was
right?
Nice, bro. Yeah. That
New
was
Wembley.
nice. And we stayed there for a week, right? Or no, we stayed there for how long we stayed there? We stayed there for
We were there
8
for
days?
a week.
Yeah, for a week.
We played in Baltimore, and instead of coming home, we just went straight over across the pond.
Oh.
See,
Damn. So you didn't even go home.
Yeah, it kind of sucked.
That
actually.
sucks.
Yeah. You
because I know for us
to see the wife.
We were on the West Coast. We played 2 games on the West Coast. We played Oakland and then Seattle. Then we flew back to Jacksonville for 1 day. Then we flew out to London the next day.
God.
Yeah. So we were all fucked up on time when we got to London. We were like, what time is it, mate? Like, shit. But they had us in a nice spot. I don't know where y'all stayed at, but we stayed about an hour outside of London. And we were in like this
luxury.
What do you call it? Like this estate cottage. Like,
yes. Enjoy London.
Dope.
Enjoy the UK's finest.
I mean, everybody had basically all the starters had suites. We all had suites. Nice. And it was like you walk through like these. It was like being at fucking the school at on Harry Potter. Hogwarts. Yeah,
Hogwarts.
It was like Hogwarts. Yes.
Damn.
We were walking down these hallways to get to the food areas, and it was just like this place has been here for like 200 years, but it was just lovely as hell.
Yeah, we were out in the countryside somewhere. It was really nice.
Countryside, yeah. They had a football field for us to practice on, everything.
It's still, I mean, it just took us forever to get in the city. So if you wanted to, like, I think the first 2 days we had off. So you go in town, fuck off, whatever.
Yeah, you had a little time to go fuck off. Yeah,
but still, like, I felt
like
I
threw a massive party after that.
Trying to navigate the fucking transit system over there. We wasted half our time just getting
tube.
down to the city.
The underground.
Oh, no, we didn't do none. I ain't do none of that. We got me
underground.
Well, you got people out there. We're just out there. Hey, mate.
Oh yeah, I got people out there. I had people out there, so they sent me there in what? They sent me there before training camp, like a month before training camp. They sent me there for like 6-7 days to do the promo. But even before that, I got family out there, so I've been out there like 2 or 3 times. So I already knew people.
Oh, so you knew?
So I was like, yo, man, we need a party. You know, I got with the cat that I met when I was out there for the promo, and he was like head of security for the biggest club out there. So his company, you know, was their security. So he set up for us to have half of the entire club. We got our ass beat by the Niners, and as soon as I got back in the locker room, here comes the head trainer, Uche. You throwing a party tonight?
Were the Niners there too?
Oh yeah, Niners. Because Dante Whitner is my boy.
Oh, okay.
So I was, because me and him was kicking it when we were doing the promo. So I let him know and say, hey, bring your boys through. They, they're good. We got they literally sectioned off half of the entire club. And like, bro, it was like that Pursuit of Happiness video. Like, it was just cats. It was just alcohol flying everywhere. But it's funny because we had this one rookie linebacker who was a cat from University of Hawaii.
Yeah, he got a little.
I think have I told y'all this story?
Yeah, you've told me that.
He got wasted and he knocked somebody out right in front of the club, and then the dude came back with all his boys and they beat the shit out of him with a belt buckle. Woo! I seen it in the taxi as I was driving off. I seen just
like, I'm not messing with that.
Yeah. I was like, woo.
That's above me.
Yep. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us here, folks. We do appreciate y'all for being here with us. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already done so. This was Lineman Life. We will catch you all next week. Hope y'all have a wonderful evening. Peace.